Hey guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having a good weekend. We are going to look at the fundamental and the technical analysis for the coming week. As the beginning, we will begin with the fundamental analysis. We have to see what is going to happen in the market related to the economic calendar, because they are the most important part that will impact the charts, despite the fact how the charts are positioned on the other hand. So we have to have an understanding of what may happen. So let's begin. Thank you to everyone that is joining right now. I really appreciate it. It was 1.7%, and this time it is expected to slow down to 1.6%. However, it has a room for interpretation also this time, because if the numbers will come lower than the previous month, or as expected, it should impact on the Swiss franc in a negative way, so we may see Swiss franc to lose value. On the other hand, if the CPI data is going to come as the previous month or probably higher, then we may see a stronger Swiss franc. This is what we need to focus. But probably even if this number is going to come 1.7%, probably it will not impact moves in the market. So let's say from 1.7% and below, we may see Swiss franc to lose value, and above 1.7 it will be critical and it may gain value. The problem with this topic is because the Swiss franc is supported from the Swiss National Bank. They made it clear several times they are still supporting their currency. They want to bring inflation down up to 1%, if I'm not wrong. And the problem is that if this indicator is going to increase this time, it means that they have to increase the interest rate. So they will be more aggressive in the market. This is why this is going to be very important during this month. On the other hand, it means that they should not support the Swiss franc too much, and they don't have to increase the interest rates. This is the problem with the Swiss franc this time. During the rest of the day, the data that we have are very soft. We have Centix investor confidence. This is important. It is strange that it is with yellow. It may create some price volatility in the market. We have also President Lagarde's speech. During these days, we didn't have anything interesting. So probably it will be an event without event. And also for the rest of the day, we don't have anything at all. So the focus for Monday should be on consumer price index, Centix investor confidence, but also on Lagarde's speech, but it may not impact the market. Another one. Another one that we have is on Tuesday, December 5. We have consumer price index from Japan. We have to be very careful with these indicators. Consumer price index is very important, but on the other hand, we have problems with the Japanese yen, because this is also related with the Bank of Japan intervention in the market. As long as they are not going to intervene in the market in order to increase, to change the yield curve control, then we are not going to see big changes here. This is very, very important. Despite the fact that the numbers should impact this currency pair, it will be very difficult and probably with not an impact that can change the trend direction. During the rest of the day, that it will be during the early hours of the European morning, we have the Bank of Australia with the interest rate decision. During the previous month, it was 4.35%, and also this month it is 4.35%. It is expected that they should not increase the interest rates. They increased after a long period of time during the previous month, Probably this time they will not increase this, so we have to be very careful. The problem will be related with the monetary policy statement, what they will share in the market. We have the Reserve Bank of Australia rate statement. When they shared during the previous month the rate statement, it was, let's say, dovish overall, and later they changed during the Reserve Bank of Australia minutes. That was after 1 week. So we saw Australian dollar getting stronger 1 week later. I'm not expecting the Bank of Australia to increase the interest rates this time. Probably they may stop this year for the moment. However, everything can happen, and we have to have an open mind with the news. During the rest of the day on Tuesday, it's completely empty. These are very soft indicators. And the only one that will create some price volatility will be during the end of the London market, during the US session. ISM services PMI, it will create some moves in the market, but I'm not expecting anything interesting at all. So both days will be almost empty and related only with one or two big events. So for Tuesday, we have the consumer price index from Japan and from Bank of Australia during the early hours of European morning. On Wednesday, it is going to be very interesting. We have the GDP data from Australia. So again, very strong data from Australia. GDP is expected to slow down a bit here from 0.4% to 0.3%, and from 2.1% to 1.7%. It can be possible because Australia is not performing very well related with the numbers, and this was the reason that the Reserve Bank of Australia increased the interest rates during the previous month. However, let's see, let's be careful, but it should not impact very aggressively the Australian dollar, considering that the Australian dollar is getting stronger during the last days. We have also retail sales from Eurozone, very important indicator. It is expected an improvement from minus 2.9% to minus 0.09%. However, we have to be careful because Eurozone is not performing so well. So they are flat during the last 3 or 4 months. Nothing is changing. That is why we should not be very optimistic with the numbers. Later during the day, we have the ADP employment change. This is very important indicator because this is one step ahead related with the non-farm payroll data. And if the number is going to come higher than the previous month, probably this is indicating that we may see stronger non-farm payroll data also during this month. However, as we have seen, the labor market in the US is getting stronger and stronger. It is showing that the US economy is very solid. CPI data is slowing down, so it's improved a lot how Fed is expecting to be. So from 2 up to 2.5%, it is moving very well. And the economy is holding very strong on the other hand. So they are having a type of disbalance here. They are not in balance. We have the economy that keeps growing, and on the other hand, with the higher interest rates that they already implied, they are holding everything under control related to the inflation. So it looks very interesting, and it was expected from the US, all of this. So let's see. And during the end of the day, for the London market, we have the Bank of Canada interest rate decision. Probably the Bank of Canada will not increase the interest rates anymore. It was 5%, and it is expected that they may hold the interest rates in the same levels also during these moments. The most important part will be related with the monetary policy statement. On the other hand, Canada is doing very well during these moments. Also, the employment numbers during the previous time came higher than expected, were a bit mixed because unemployment rate was a bit higher. However, I think that probably we may have an event without event, but everything will be related with the press conference also here. On Thursday, during the early hours of the European morning, we don't have strong data. Trade balance is important for the Australian dollar. We have to see what is going to happen, but I'm not expecting anything interesting here. Later during the day, we can see that these are soft data overall. It is not expected any big move in the market. And during the European, this is close to the midday, 10 a.m. London time, we have the GDP data from Eurozone. Eurozone keeps reporting the same numbers month after month, and as you can see, also this month it is expected that the GDP is not going to increase again. It can happen that we may have the same data, considering that the Eurozone is not improving related with the indicators, but on the other hand, it is not doing bad at all. So this is a type of balance. It is not good, it is not bad, but it's fine also in this way. So it is not expected to have changes here. We have continuous jobless claims, nothing important, small moves for the market on Thursday, and all the day will be almost empty. So only the GDP data from Eurozone is going to be the most important indicator during Thursday. And on Friday, just one moment, we have the GDP data from Japan again. It is expected that this indicator will not change during this moment. However, even if we are going to have any type of surprise, the market is focused only on the yield curve control. So as long as the market, as the Bank of Japan is not going to intervene in the market, we should not anticipate big moves related with the Japanese yen pairs. This is very important, and we should understand to be patient, to stay away from the GPY pairs. They are all in a critical situation so far. They are not moving at all, testing highs, creating new tops during the previous week. So it's getting very weird because the market wants only the Bank of Japan to interact during this moment and not to wait for more than a year now. So it is getting very, very strange situation. During the day, we have data from Germany. I'm not expecting anything big during these indicators. And this is very important, consumer inflation expectation for the British pound. It should have been with red, in my opinion, not with orange. It's a very important indicator. During the previous month, it was 3.6%. And probably considering that the consumer price index is already improving, probably we may see these numbers to slow down, and it means that it may impact for good the British pound. So we may have lower expectations for the CPI data. During the opening of the US market, one of the most important events will be the non-farm payroll data. We have all the indicators that are released at the same time. Average hourly earnings, average hourly earnings yearly, weekly, and also unemployment rate. So non-farm payroll data this time is expected to improve again. During the previous time it was 150k, and it is expected that also this month it could be 180k. We have also the Michigan consumer sentiment, but I think that the focus will be only on the non-farm payroll data during on Friday. And that's all for the close of the week. So let's see what is going to happen also from a technical perspective. The first one that I wanted to discuss this time is the consumer price index related with Swiss, and we are going to look at Euro Swiss as well. Sorry. So during this week, during the previous week, I was looking at for a possible buy opportunity for Euro Chief close to the bottom of this idea. The price came down as expected during this moment. However, we should understand that the Swiss pairs are manipulated in the same way like the Bank of Japan is doing. So Bank of Japan is not supporting its currency. On the other hand, we have the Swiss franc that is supported more than they should do, related with the Swiss franc strength. This is a very strong reason why we see all the Swiss franc pairs testing all-time lows or monthly time lows. It is very strange, but it is supported from the Swiss National Bank. Related with Eurochief and how this news is going to impact the market, we have to be careful. As I explained also before, if the CPI data from Swiss are going to come lower than expected this time, it means that the Swiss National Bank will not increase the interest rates. And probably they should not intervene in the market in order to have a stronger Swiss franc. Because the only problem that they have is that they want to have a very small inflation numbers. On the weekly chart and on the monthly chart, we can see that Eurochief is testing all-time lows here. So it's very critical moment. I hope that it will not move down further from this point because it is not making sense in this situation. On a weekly chart, we have the same moment again. The price is testing the previous lows. This is the third time that the price is close to this area, and this is showing that we may see Eurochief increasing again. Despite the fact that we have very strong bearish candles, we may see these candles here. The price increased before and it can do the same thing. It may happen during the early hours, but what is a bit risky this moment is that this move here was very aggressive. So we have this harmonic pattern that this is going to show the strength that it has. During the previous time, the price increased after this pattern was completed, and it was approximately 270 pips up. And it may happen the same thing again from the bottom of the same area. Near this support zone, we have the buyers that are well positioned all the time. The buyer's interest is increased at this moment. Everyone is focused in this zone. And if the numbers will come lower than expected, then this is going to create a bullish momentum. However, we have to be very careful. The movement can be limited again. I'm not expecting a big reversal related with the Swiss pairs. We have to be careful because it may come up to the top of this area here. This is the maximum that I'm expecting for Eurochief also this time. The Swiss franc is very strong. This is why we have to be careful. Look at how aggressive were these moves. Probably it was the Swiss National Bank that joined the market during these moves because it happened across all the currency pairs related with the Swiss franc. But the same indicator can push it up close to the top. So let's see. But in the current conditions, the price is very strong. This is a K monthly area at this moment. It is very interesting. But also the top that we have is a K weekly area. Look at this zone, how it was tested several times on the past. So overall, I'm bullish, but this is very aggressive and this is not confirming anything yet for the bullish move. It will be a move related with the news event that we have. Another one that we are going to look at is the dollar index. As you can see, As you can see for the dollar index, on the daily chart we don't have anything yet. And on the 4-hour chart we have to be careful because it is not clear for the moment. During the previous time, since when the price was close to the top, it reached all of our targets and moved lower because it was an analysis that it was developed with time. As you can see, we had many scenarios how we followed this. And so far, after the price reached our targets, through all these moments, we can see that broke out from this minor structure. However, in the current conditions, it is not clear. We have to be very careful, in my opinion. We don't have to have a clear picture all the time when we trade. We have to be also patient. At least this is how I'm looking at for the moment. Near the current zone that we had the second target that I shared during these times, this is what I shared during the previous analysis. For dollar index, the price came close to the area and it moved down again. So this is showing that we have sellers, we have selling pressure at this moment. Probably the buyer's interest will increase once the price will break through the top of this zone. Probably it is creating something at this moment. It is not the right moment to anticipate the bullish or the bearish moves. If this is the right counting, let's say, if this was a 5-wave movement and probably a possible small impulse before the price moves higher again, then we may be in a type of small ABC correction that may happen for the dollar index. However, it's a bit early to anticipate this type of bullish moves, but usually this is how it happens and we may see another bullish move. The buyers will take full control with the current data that we have once the price will break through the top of the zone 103.7. This is going to be very important for this moment, but we can have also any idea when the price will come close to the previous small structure again. So everything will be related how it will develop. But with this data, it is likely that we may see a bullish move from this point for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. So this is overall what I'm looking at for the dollar index. However, let's see how the market will open because it can create also different expectations. But with this data, we have this bullish potential. For the bears, we have to be careful because also the bearish volume and the pattern that we have is not showing any strong bearish continuation movement. So let's see how the market will develop more during this moment. What is going to be very important during this week is gold. I shared this analysis also on December 1, 2 days ago. I made a breakdown of this analysis from the small time frame, or for the 4-hour time frame. We can see that the price already broke out and increased, as you can see from this chart here. So the expectations were for the bullish move and later for a bearish move. And what we can see is that on a bigger picture, on a weekly chart, it is likely that the price can create this type of bigger pattern for gold. However, this is a long-term expectation. We should not expect gold to move down very easily. We are on a weekly chart, and it means that the price may spend a long time. It can take, let's say, from 6 months to 1 year for the price to move down and to create all of this bigger picture if everything will go fine. However, for the moment, we can see that the price is already testing the top of this area, and we have also a very strong bullish pressure on a weekly chart. So we can see a very strong candle close. What is very important, and I think that we have to be careful. Thank you to everyone that is joining. Thank you, guys. I think that we have to be careful because considering that the price is testing this old area and we don't have previous highs, despite the fact that the price created this bullish pressure, it may create any fast sell-off during this moment. On the other hand, for the current moves, the focus was on the war between Israel and Hamas. And during these moments, the war is not as the market was expected. And this is a strong reason that we may see any move down again. The first area for this moment will be a very strong zone. If price is going to come close to 2007, then we will see the buyer's interest to increase again because we are in a strong bullish trend. It has not over yet, and close to 2007, 2009, we may see the price to resume the bullish move again up to 2070 where it is right now. This is for the daily chart that we are looking at. I don't think that it will continue to rise further. We have to be very careful with long positions, despite what the market may share. Once the price will manage to break through the zone that we are looking at here, close to below 2009, and then the next support zone will be found on this area. So the first one that is going to be very important will be 2010. And the second one will be close to 1940. So let's see how the market will develop during this week. This is going to be very important, very interesting during these moments. It looks very bullish, but it can lose also the market interest very, very easily. There is no reason for, let's say, for investment banks or for hedge funds to have a very expensive asset on their portfolio. It is not making sense to have this for the moment also to be covered in any strange situation, considering that it was here also before, and it can be also a moment of profit taking. This is why we may see the market moving down. The worst case scenario that I'm looking for gold is possible any type of strange move that can create any long candle like it did before on a weekly chart. Look at these candles here, how the price created before. It can create any candle like this and later it can move down. However, let's see what is going to happen during this week. It will be very interesting with gold. We have to be also careful. For GBP USD, we have to be careful again. During this week, I shared the analysis related with GBP USD. Since when the price was close to the bottom, already reached all of our targets. This is where we have shared all of this analysis. This is one of them when the price reached the target. This is another one that we are looking at for a bullish move, and this was related also with the technical perspective. And look at how the price moved very nicely up from this area. That is why it was the second update. And during the previous week that I shared this move from the top, it looks like a small move when the price moved down. But if we are going to measure, this was approximately 130, 120 pip move down. So it was not small at all. Considering also what the dollar is already doing, the dollar index, we have to be careful because this is not clear yet. The buyers will take control only when the price will break through the top. At this moment, we don't have to be very optimistic. This is the only reason that I see for the bulls to take control related to GBP USD in order for the price to increase further. And if this area is going to stop the price where it was during the previous week, and considering also the fundamental perspective that we have during this moment, probably the market may anticipate stronger non-farm payroll data. In this way, it may push the price down where it was during the week that we already closed. So this is for the moment a small trend range area where the price can move from top to bottom between 1.26 and 1.2730. I don't think that it will move higher for the moment. Probably it will stuck in this zone, and later we have to see how it will take shape. But this is what I'm looking at for the moment for GBP USD. Also on the lower time frame, sorry, we don't have anything yet. The price moved from the top very aggressively during the previous time, increased aggressively, and it can move down aggressively in the same way. So this is what I'm looking at for GBP USD. Euro Chief, I already discussed Euro Chief, it was the first one. For USD yen, we have to be very careful. This is related mainly with the Bank of Japan that is not taking further steps for the yield curve control. I think that on the bigger picture, the top was reached also from the counting that we are looking at as a 5-wave movement on the bigger picture, and also the red one that we have here as a 5-wave and the 5th wave extended. The problem is that USD yen has a very high negative swap rate, or overnight rate. If you are going to hold this for a long period of time in your portfolio, this is going to create massive losses, considering with the swap rate that this currency have. We have to be careful. It is not so good for short-term trading. This is another problem because we don't have the Bank of Japan on our back here. It is likely that we may see the price to increase again. I wouldn't be surprised because it looks bearish. It looks like it will move down, but as long as the buyers are not having more confirmation from the Bank of Japan, we may see the price to test the top before it moves down again. So it appears that the Bank of Japan is showing up only close to 152 at this moment. So this is what I'm looking at. However, it is creating lower lows at this moment. It is breaking the structures. Look at what the price is doing. It keeps doing these moments. The problem is that it may increase, but only if the price will recover the previous broken area. So this is the only way how I see this rising. Otherwise, it can do strange things here. So it is better if you stay away. It looks like it can be safer to sell if it comes from the top, but I wouldn't like to mess up at all with the yen pairs. Very risky at this moment, and mainly USD yen, because it can rise before it moves down again. And the last one that I have prepared for today is Ethereum. This is getting very interesting at this moment, more than Bitcoin. Ethereum already broke out from one of the areas. Look at where the price is so far. We have Ethereum that already broke out from a very strong zone. This is the consolidation that this is creating. We are on a daily chart, and probably it may increase further from the current position. Also, the previous accumulation that we saw, it was a bullish accumulation. I shared this analysis during yesterday. This was the analysis that I shared yesterday. It was accumulating but without a clear price direction. And so far we have the direction and Ethereum is positioned for a bullish move. So let's see if this move is going to hold, but considering that it is holding above the structure, it is likely that it may rise further and probably it can move even higher than the targets that we have here. So probably 2400 can be another good target for Ethereum. This is what I'm looking at also here. One of the guys is writing about Cardano. I think that we should stay away from many of the charts because they are on the move already. We don't have how to join. This is an analysis that I have shared previously. This is the weekly chart that we have. This is where I shared Cardano when the price was close to the bottom of our pattern. And here we have where it is right now. So this was the previous analysis on Cardano. For the moment, it is taking a pause on a daily chart, as we can see. It is not clear how this is going to take shape. It is very ugly, but let's say that if this is the final pattern and the price will hold this very strong, but probably it was like a type of contracting triangle, it is likely that it may continue, but in my opinion is also a bit risky at this moment. So I would like to trade better Ethereum because it is in a better position, it is undervalued, it is not like Cardano here. However, Cardano is getting ready for the retest of this top this time, and it can also increase a bit more if everything is going to be fine. So let's say that if the current pattern that we have is the final pattern for the bullish move, then this is going to increase up to 0.52 this time. It can be possible. So that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. I wish you all to have a nice weekend. Please don't forget to hit the like button and follow. It will help a lot my channel. Thank you so much and I hope to see you all on the next live streaming. Bye bye.